Ella Snap, Appalachian Weekly News. Great win, guys. Talk to me about that first half, really, from NOVU. It was a little bit hard to match their energy, and I know Coach Sharp was talking to y'all about intensity. So what did y'all change on the court?
I can start. Basically, she's talking about our grit. Like, she's telling us that she can't coach energy or effort. Like, that's something that has to come from within us, and it's something that we practice every single day. I practice since the summertime, so we got to continue to build on that and not let it go astray just because all the lights are on and we got people in the crowd. So I think it also day jitters. We're all going to have them. We're not perfect. So I think once we got past that, we played basketball our whole life. So, it's just something we have to get past. I think we did good in the second half, just getting our mind right and just playing how we used to play, because our defense is where it's going to go into offense. Even if offense isn't working, we always got to do defense and just play our best.
Yeah, I would say something similar. I mean, in the first half, obviously shots weren't falling. We were a little stagnant on offense. But I think something we pride ourselves on is letting our defense kind of create some offensive momentum. So once we got some good, clean rebounds on the defensive end and pushed out in transition, I think that really gave us a good push. And from there, we kind of got comfortable within our offense and moving with each other, and then just communicating. We weren't doing that as much. It was a little louder than practice. So we just got to make sure we're starting that from the jump next game, and then we'll get a better start and just keep going.
Yeah, so with that loudness you were talking about, it's all three of y'all's first time playing on this court with the Mountaineers cheering you on. What was that like for you guys?
Honestly, for me, it was really just living out a dream. Like she said, we play basketball our whole lives, and this is exactly what you want when you make it to the top, to college level. You're playing D1 basketball, got a full gym, bright lights on, the pressure is on, but I live for that, that thrill, that rush. So honestly, it means the world to me.
I mean, I feel like everybody wants to play in a full gym, and I think App State is the one that brings that to us. We want to be the best in the Sun Belt, attendance-wise, everywhere. So I think if we keep building that, I think we can be the best in the Sun Belt. So we have great fans behind us. I just think we need more, and just keep going. Yeah, it was really great, just electric out there, and I think we're just hoping that our product, we'll keep building and keep getting people to come back and get that support. So just happy that, we pulled it together for that second half to really put our best foot forward and things that we can build on for the future. But we really appreciate the support.
Thank you, guys. Good game.
Bobby Phillips, 90.5 WASU and Appalachian Weekly News. And Emma, this one's for you first. You led the team today with 4 steals overall in your debut. What was the point of emphasis on that defensive end to allow you to do that?
Yeah, I think, the past few weeks, you've really focused on ball pressure, especially from picking the ball up a little earlier. And as a point guard, a lot of times that's my job. And, I know when I'm getting the ball, when I'm getting pressure up the court, I don't always love it. So it's good to put that back on the defensive end. And, yeah, I think it's just a good way to kind of get the team defensive momentum starting. So I'm just hoping I can keep doing that, maybe hold on to the ball a little more for those ones when I was on the ground. But yeah, I had a good defense behind me. I trust them so I can get them pressure the ball, and I know that there's help behind me. So it's really a team effort.
And Jayden and Daisia, y'all were the leading scorers tonight, both with 16 for the team. What was clicking on that offensive end, and what was it like sharing the ball?
Not all at once. Honestly, like we said, the first half we were still trying to figure it out. We were a little bit stagnant. I think that once we got that flow, and understood how we can play together, seeing what was open, it was honestly easy. We just took what came to us. Obviously, we had to go fight for some buckets, but I feel just the way that our team was moving and communicating together, really opened us up. It was all around, whether it was we getting into the post or our shots were open on the outside, her taking her lanes down and she hit me in the corner. It's really a team effort.
I'm saying I'll give it all to my teammates and my coaches for trusting me and taking those shots, and teammates for getting me open, sending those screens. So I just give it all to them. I scored, but they deserve all the points for sure. So.
Park Ragland with the Appalachian. What was Western Michigan doing in the first half? Only 19 points in the first half compared to 23 in each the third and the fourth quarter.
I think it's some pretty good ball pressure, but I think a lot of it was kind of us being ourselves. We were just not really in our offensive flow and stuff that we worked on. I think when some of those jitters were coming, we kind of just stayed in our spots, tried to play a little iso ball, and I think what our team does really well is we play together. We have a lot of tough matchups, just like them too, or some of our taller guards or the post. So I think we just need to utilize that more and just trust what we've been building. I don't think, they're a great team, but I think a lot of it was us kind of being ourselves and just kind of getting the flow first.
Bob Dillner, AWN, Emma, and Jayden, I want to ask you, because I've already talked to Daisia, what was the message that Coach Sharp had for you guys after that first half to come out as electric as you were in the second half?
Yeah, I think it's kind of stuff we touched on, like the offense. We're not an ISO team. We have players that can do that, but how we operate best is when we work as a team, but also sticking to like our defensive principles. I think we had a relatively good defensive half, but we just need to up the intensity, up the effort. That's not something that we need her to coach. Like she's a great coach. We don't want her coaching our intensity and our effort and our energy. We can bring that ourselves. So just her kind of pushing that for us to take that on our shoulders, so she can actually do the X's and O's, which what she's here to do, not to make us run and sprint the floor. You'll see that. You'll be seeing that.
Yeah, sprint.
Any further questions? Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We've got head coach Alaura Sharp after today's win against Western Michigan. Coach, if you want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, I want to start by saying hello, Boone community. It was good to see a great crowd. We've been harping on that. I'm sure everyone has seen the social media posts, and I want to give a shout out to Cassie. I know you've worked really hard to help us have a good environment to play in. I'm glad we unclogged the toilet at halftime and came out and played with a little intensity and urgency. And I think our team has a really, really high ceiling. I think you can tell by the joy that they play with. I know, Bob, you and your staff was at practice earlier in the week, and we have some grit to us. I mean, Emma Smith dives on the floor. We're up 22 points and saves the ball out of bounds. I just think that stuff matters because it's the way you do things all the time, right? It's kind of like your character. You want to be the same person all the time, no matter what's going on. That's the same. We want the same character of our basketball team. Effort will give you a chance every single night. Then you add execution, which we did a lot better in the second half. I mean, we had 12 turnovers and 3 assists at halftime, and we finished the game with 17 and 14. So I don't know the math on that, but it's really good.
Bobby Phillips, 90.5 WASU and Appalachian Weekly News. Coach Sharp, there were a lot of ups and downs. This game is definitely a lot of ups more in the second half. I want to hear from you. What are you most proud of from this game, and what's one major improvement you want to make going forward for this team?
Yeah, I think it was just time to play somebody else. You talk about things, you harp on things. Now you have a bottom line to it. I think defensively, I thought we did an okay job. I'd like to see us expand our circle and defensive rebound better, because then we can actually get out and run in transition. We didn't really get a lot of clean rebounds or long rebounds, and I thought Western Michigan played really hard. But defensive rebounding, number one, and just some actions that we hadn't covered. It's tough, right? Your first game, you just don't really know what to expect, and we'll definitely be working on that back screen in the paint. But I think one of the biggest areas of improvement is just consistency in running our offense, right? It's unscripted, and you can tell in the second half I'm able to kind of tell them and move them. They've got to learn to be able to do that on their own. But I've said in here and said it a lot of times, the way that we play takes time. We didn't use our zone a whole lot today because they're running 5 out. It's a little bit tricky. Motion offense takes time. Our zone takes time. But again, I'm proud of our group.
David Rogers, High Country Sports. I guess the first question is, have you trademarked that or patented that halftime Kool-Aid?
What? Halftime? Oh, the halftime Kool-Aid. Yeah. I think we definitely need to do that. I think we'll call it Rare Kool-Aid. What a great idea.
You made a big point early in the media days the other day about the increase in size that you have in this team, and that was very apparent. What are your feelings about how that the size was integrated into the play tonight?
Well, I think it's what changed the intensity level in the second half. I think we were just forcing the issue, and basketball is a game of blended tempos. And we were just trying so hard to jam it in there. We were dancing around with the front, and we just took our time, and we sealed them, and we pushed them up the lane. That was obviously a big focus of halftime. Is we call it our Frankie action. We wanted to get into our Frankie action. We got Daisia some easy buckets, and I thought that really kind of, like I said earlier, unclogged us a little bit. But I think there's more areas. I thought, we got some good touches in the paint with Jayden and Daisia, but we still have Elle, and I think Zoe McCrary was probably an unsung hero today. I thought she kept us alive in the first half. I know her stat line maybe doesn't show all these points, but her plus minus is really good. She had 7 rebounds and thought helped us run pretty good offense, kept some rebounding alive, on the offensive end. So I thought she did a really good job as well.
Dillner, AWN coach. I love when I ask this question to the girls. They all looked at you. So what did you tell them in the locker room at halftime?
Yeah, I told them, I just kind of challenged them that I thought we were playing ourselves a little bit. I just thought that, you don't really give yourself a chance if you play you and the other team. Turnovers, this team actually takes really good care of the ball. I mean, and both of our scrimmages, we've done a really good job having not very many turnovers. And so I was kind of surprised to see us come out and just really stand and play ISO basketball. And so just challenged them to be us. And we talked about the Frankie execution, and we challenged them to put better ball pressure on the basketball. And I thought, check. They did all those things.
A lot of movement with that basketball in the second half. If you take a look at your shooting, 23% from the field. In the first half, you were way over 50 in that second half. What did you see out of those girls? When did you see the light bulb go off?
Well, I think when we just got some easy buckets in the paint. I mean, every shot in the second quarter was like so challenged, just like chucked up, kind of off balance. And, it's like, we've got to find a way to get to the next layer of someone's defense. And so when you move your body and the basketball without being crowded on top of each other, it loosens you up. They start chasing cutters, and I thought that was the biggest thing. We started crossing our wings and playing more up through the middle third. And but I love the lesson learned today, because I just think it's something that we can always reflect back to. Hey, remember that first half at Western Michigan, what we looked like? Because I'm sure we'll show them some of those clips. We'll show them a lot of good too. I think we've got to stay in their brain with what we want it to look like.
Lastly, I love coming to practice, love watching them tonight, especially when they got in their groove. You have so many talented players. But Daisia Mitchell tonight, what she was able to do, first game here, she brings championship background. What is she going to mean to this team?
Yeah, so much. It's been interesting. When she first got here, she really didn't have her voice. She, junior college player, she was just trying to find her rhythm with our team. It took her a little bit to kind of blend and feel comfortable and feel like her. And, we kind of just stuck with her. I remember sending her a text one night and just saying to her, step up and find your voice and start leading. We need that. You've won a championship, and she's really embraced that role. And there was a moment too in conditioning that Coach Zach was running a conditioning session, and she would say things like, come on, this is where champions are made, like when it's really hard. And it's almost like the rest of the group almost eye-rolled her. And at the end, he talked about, like, we've got to take that serious. She's been there, she's done that. And so that was a good moment too, because that's when she kind of started finding her voice, and our team, you got to have the respect of that too. And that's where all the new, right? Like 9 new players is hard, 9 new personalities blending in with everybody else. But I really like our group. I really believe in them. Win, lose, or draw, you can see the talent. We have a huge upside. I think we have a chance to be really good defensively. I'm so glad that we were able to hold someone in the 40s. I think you'll see other nights like that. We just got to keep growing and defensively.
Hey, Coach, Parker Eglin with the Appalachian. There's a lot of talk about the halftime speech and coming out in the second half and playing much better in the first half. What I noticed was calling a timeout in the second quarter, and that's to me when the offense really took off. Is there anything that changed during that timeout? Anything came out stronger? Anything?
Yeah, I think the same messaging. I told them one time, I'm 2 timeouts in a row. If you're talking about the same thing, they really have to change. And so we talked a little bit about transition defense and that segment, and just challenging them. The timeout before on the media, I was talking about transition defense. The very next timeout, I'm talking about sprinting back again, and just really challenge them to look inward and change. The only way we can sprint back is if each individual takes ownership of that. And offensively, I was talking about the same things, moving our bodies, moving the basketball. And I agree. I think Zoe actually really came out and helped give us a little bit of pop, and we started slipping some screens, and we started getting her some downhill touches. And even if you don't score in the post every time, we still run split action out of the post. It gets us diving to the basket. We hit cutters to the basket. That's how we want to play.
Is there anything in the first half that I guess you could say get chalked up to like opening game jitters, or was it really just Western Michigan giving really tough looks out there?
Yeah, I think we kind of looked, I don't know how to say it other than eat-ert. It's like we just didn't look smooth to start. I think that's really normal. I'm sure they feel the same way. I'm sure, our men are the same way. Everybody that plays tonight, it's just, it takes a little bit, especially all of us have so many new players, and so, just trying to figure out how to blend all that together. It does take time, but I like where we're at. I mean, I'm glad we won the game. I'm glad we won it by double figures. But I still feel like we put you got to get as close as you can by the end of November, putting together 40 minutes.
David Rogers, High Country Sports again. You just started kind of went into what I was going to ask you. Got a lot of joy, a lot of high tonight with the win. What are your areas for improvement that you think that you saw tonight that were going forward?
Yeah, I think number one, transition defense. I mean, they didn't always make us pay, but there were a lot of kids open. They kind of ran a 5-out transition offense with no rim runner, so we were kind of running to the paint. We were twirling around at half court. That drives me nuts. Like, our philosophy is play inside out, get to the 3-point line, and then expand from there. And so that's a habit. It takes time to make a habit. I say all the time in practice, we got to make new habits. Everybody's got a habit. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not the way that we want to do things. And so, like I said, sometimes you just got to play a game and to learn some of those things and get it on film, because even a scrimmage is good, but you're not necessarily subbing and playing to win. You're kind of looking at lineups, looking at things. And so there's just nothing like tipping the ball up in a regular season game. But the other thing is just offensively, just consistency in how we do things. We've got to find a way to get transition. I mean, we're athletic. We've got good ball handlers. We've been so good this week in transition. Kind of disappointed that didn't carry over, but we've seen it in practices. It's going to happen. And it's just, everything's going to take time. One thing at a time, if we can improve it. I thought our defensive rebounding was better. They shot a lot of threes. It's, long shots, long rebounds. It's such a habit for kids to run underneath the rim. And we got to be better with that.
If I'd ask you to write my story for me tonight, summarize in 3 or 4 bullet points what the difference was in this game tonight.
Yeah, I think one, what a great response at halftime. Came out such a surge and momentum, and I thought it really just put a cap on them, right? Like, all of their hope, I thought we took away in the first few minutes. Second thing is just defensively, urgency, jumping to our gaps, helping on the drive a little bit, and then just getting experience. We've got to get through November. We have a tough stretch. After our game on Friday, we've got Davidson, then we have Wofford, which are both top of the conference types of teams with both amazing coaches and great programs that have won championships and had a lot of success. And luckily, we have them at home. And so I'm really looking forward to those challenges, and we'll clean stuff up. Then we're off tomorrow and clean things up and, get rolling back on Friday.